So Aldo Bettazzoni went out and asked people, would you house illegal immigrants in your home? And for those that said yes, he came prepared with a petition trying to get them to commit to it. Now, there are a handful of scenes in this video that we absolutely have to unpack. But before we do, you guys, welcome back to the channel. Thank you all for being here. This video is sponsored by my good friends over at Native Path. Huge shout out to you guys. We will talk about them a little bit more in a bit. And then quick announcement, my Clips channel just launched, highlighting some of the best moments in my videos. Also, we'll probably put some unedited clips and just clips that don't make it into videos on this channel as well. Go subscribe right now. James Klug Clips, go subscribe right now. Let's go ahead and jump into this video from Aldo Bettazzoni over at PragerU.
So last year, 2.5 million migrants crossed the southern border illegally into the United States. Do they have a right to be here?
Of course, yeah.
Why?
Because they're human beings, just like the rest of us.
Strong argument. Okay, so he said 2.5 million. It's around, 2.4 to 2.5 illegally. That's on top of the already, million legal immigrants that come into the country every single year or get their green cards. And then also, they're actually throwing people a bone here in this video because that's not even including the 600,000 gotaways from Border Patrol last year. So there was documented 600,000 that were being chased by Border Patrol agents and got away. So you can stack that on top of the 1.5 million that illegally entered the country.
Yes, I think they do. What we have is people coming over here that we love and we want them to come through the border.
I think illegal immigration is just people who don't have access trying to find freedom.
Yeah, I mean, everyone has a chance to start new and start fresh and have an opportunity. I mean, think about our great-great-grandparents. They started somewhere, so why can't they?
Yeah, and the great-great-great-grandparents didn't have a massive social safety net to where you can't just allow the entire world to come into a country with already over 330 million people in it. They didn't have all these benefits. Right? I understand that coming here for a better life. I mean, geez, it's the move right now if you're in Central America, just come up to the United States. And we know that the overwhelming majority, well over 80% of these migrants that are coming across are economic migrants. They're not really trying to run away from too much happening down in Central America. And if they were to be, there's multiple countries before you get to the United States that you could probably settle in. But okay, so open border, everyone's welcome. Let's move on.
I think America is the land of the home and the home of the brave. And it was based on immigrants. I feel like we should open our doors and help people to find their way.
Right.
Land of the home and home of the brave. All right, man. I think he was meaning land of the free right there. Land of the home and home of the brave. And its foundings is immigration. Open border. A lot of people get caught up on that. They try to compare the norms from back in the day to what we're seeing today. You didn't have massive social safety nets in the United States back in the day. It didn't really matter who came across. But in order to keep a country, you can't just add tens of millions of people that don't adopt your values. You're no longer going to have a country anymore. That's just not how it works.
Right now, the federal government spends about $116 billion annually on services relating to this population. In California, it's around $23 billion, and a big portion of that goes to housing. What do you think we should do about the housing problem?
I mean, I think giving someone a house is just the bare bones of what we should do. There's a lot more that goes into creating sustainability for people.
I think there's a lot of unused buildings that people can kind of go into. I mean, there's hotels are not being used.
Hold on. Oh, it's somebody else's property, he's saying. He's saying, there's other people's property maybe that are temporarily not being used or something like that. Also, this person right here is just talking about giving them a straight up house. Oh, absolutely. Are you gonna provide it? Who's gonna provide it? All right, everyone, let's take a few moments to talk about today's sponsor. If you are struggling with swelling in your legs, ankles, or feet, you're going to want to listen up. Forget your compression socks and water pills. New research shows that swelling and inflammation can be resolved by upping your intake of omega-3 fatty acids from krill oil. Omega-3s improve circulation while lowering inflammation in the body, all while reducing swelling and pain. And there's no better time to try krill oil for yourself. Just go to fixswollenfeet.com/Klug to get 58% off Native Path Antarctic Krill. You guys, if you're on the fence about taking krill oil, I encourage you to look up some of the benefits because there are a ton. This krill oil is pure, effective, and easily absorbed by the body, and it contains a potent antioxidant which helps further reduce inflammation and swelling. For a limited time, all my viewers can grab Native Path Antarctic Krill oil for as low as $19 a bottle. Just go to fixswollenfeet.com/Klug. That is fixswollenfeet.com/Klug. I will put links down in the description below. Let's get back into the video. It's so interesting watching these reactions. Look how compassionate, quote unquote, they are willing to give stuff for free to people that just show up. I mean, these people that are crossing the border illegally, at this point, they're the most spoiled people in the United States. They're about to be if these people get their way. They get a free house. What else do they get? Where's my free house? Where are the taxpayers' free houses? Why is this even a conversation right now when we have all these other issues in the United States? But these people, when it comes to, they hear the word illegal immigrants or migrant being used, and they want to give them the world. The only thing is they can't afford it, so it has to come from somebody else.
Eric Adams recently came up with an idea to house migrants in private citizens' homes. This would be a plan where he would put money back into their pockets, but he wants to open up private citizens' homes to these migrants. What do you think about this plan?
Well, if you need the money and you have an extra room, sounds good to me.
I think that's like a really good idea.
I mean, yeah, why not? Like, give them a home, give them a bed, give them a roof, food, opportunity for work. I mean, sure.
People can sleep on my couch all the time.
looks like you found an intoxicated guy right there. But yeah, it's so, of course. Well, hold on. First of all, Eric Adams, they're looking to work with churches in the area in New York City to house these illegal immigrants. And this is an issue that's being caused by the Biden administration. So they're saying, okay, we have way too many illegal immigrants coming in. Last year, FY22, 2.4 to 2.5 million, excluding the 600,000 gotaways. So now we have a housing crisis on our hands. We can't house this many people. So they've proposed paying people with their own money, because that's where government money comes from. So paying people with their own money to house illegal immigrants in their apartments. These people are saying it's a great idea, excellent. If you want to make some of your own money, fantastic. The government's just giving away free money, right? Everyone forgets where it comes from. What Aldo does with this video is absolutely genius. Let's check out this next scene.
Could you ever see yourself housing a migrant in your home?
I mean, totally. I mean, I don't necessarily have the space for it living in New York City.
Classic.
But I wouldn't be opposed to it.
Could you ever see yourself housing a migrant?
Not right now, not at this point, no.
Could you see yourself doing this sometime in the future?
Probably not, to be honest, because the future is going to be about, I don't know, about myself, I guess.
Yeah, incredibly typical. Let's support creating a crisis. Let's give human traffickers and cartels the most money that they've ever seen in their lives. We have former CBP Commissioner Mark Morgan saying that in the recent years, the Sinaloa cartel's annual income has gone from $500 million to $13 billion recently. So they're making more money than they know what to do with. Human trafficking market is absolutely booming. These people fully support it. And they don't want to help out with the consequences. Oh, well, okay, we've created a housing crisis, but somebody else can deal with it. There's a pattern here.
Well, I think somebody living in my own home is a different situation than somebody living in my community.
Isn't America our community? Isn't America our home?
Yeah, but I think our own private quarters of our home is a sanctuary, is a private space compared to like where you and I are out now on a public street.
You would almost think he has a point here if these people weren't advocating for complete open borders at our southern border. No control over who's coming in. Anybody can just come in, and we have to figure it out. We have to figure it out with more schools. Hey, 2.5 million illegal immigrants coming into the country. How many school districts is that we have to create to support that many people? How many children are they going to have? Do we have room in our hospitals? People complain about low wages. Is that going to help with low wages? So people don't think about this stuff. They just say, oh, okay, well, my ancestors came here a long time ago, and there was no social safety net. Now we have all these benefits, and we're over $30 trillion in debt. Let's just have an absolute free-for-all. It would be so much different if this guy wasn't saying, yes, I support open borders and creating a crisis, because when it comes to actually dealing with the crisis of, okay, well, we have all these people that don't have homes, are you going to help? You're the one that supports creating this crisis. Nah. Somebody else will. All right, so here's the petition. The petition is coming out.
Would you be willing to house migrants yourself in your own home?
Yeah, why not? And I help out because I'm Mexican myself, so I come from immigrants. So I don't see why I wouldn't help my people.
Here, why not? Absolutely. Open the borders.
So we're actually asking because we have a form from the United States Alien Housing Project, and we're getting people to sponsor migrants and to invite them into their own homes. If you sign this, we can get a migrant into your home, and as early as next week. Would you want to sign this today?
No, because I live with my parents.
Do you think you could ask your parents?
I don't know.
I think I would almost, if I was doing this, I would almost say, could we get them on a call right now, actually? Could we call the parents? That would probably be totally unacceptable. But look at that. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Oh, well, I live with my parents. I don't know if I can do that. But just to be on camera to say, absolutely, it's a great idea, as long as somebody else is dealing with it. That is the pattern here.
I don't know how they'd go about this.
Would you be willing to sign this today and invite a migrant into your home?
No.
If you sign this, we could get a migrant into your house as early as next week. Would you be willing to sign this?
Well, hey, you put me on camera now, because I'm the guy tossing out 20s cash, and now you want me to sign things. Let's go.
Yeah, awesome. Let's do it. So they'll contact you. They'll
He doesn't know what he's signing. This guy's way too drunk.
set you up with a migrant, and they'll have them on your house in as early as 1 week. This would be like for your
As early as 1 week. They'll deliver him to your house, just like that.
actual home for you to take in a migrant yourself.
I can't do that. I literally live in a 2-bedroom with
Trying to get him to take me in.
Wow. If only these people really understood that the crisis that's happening down at the southern border when it comes to what happens to these children being trafficked, what happens to these women being trafficked, what happens with guns and drugs, and what these cartel members do to these migrants. These people that are just looking for a better life, we get that, right? I think all of us understand that, but in order to have a country stand, you have to actually, when it comes to immigration, it has to be somewhat controlled, or else you're going to totally lose your country. You're not going to bring in 10 million people all of a sudden, and they're all just going to assimilate. It's going to be perfect. The way that this conversation's going is pretty much the way that most of my conversations go, and I talk to people about this on the street, is they don't really think about the consequences of the situation that they're talking about. They don't think about what happens when you 10x illegal immigration, when you have no clue who's coming into the country. They don't think about healthcare. They don't think about schools. They don't think about jobs. They don't think about any of that. But yeah, this is pretty standard California disconnected behavior of people that just don't see the problem. They don't understand the problem. If you go and interview people, and if you do the same video in a border town in Texas, they will absolutely not have the same reaction because they're in it. They see it. They understand the consequences. These people are so disconnected, they just don't get it.
I think it's hypocritical for people to advocate for open borders and to advocate for the influx of illegal immigrants, but not be willing to put up their own homes.
In some ways, yes. I do think that's a little hypocritical.
In my personal opinion, and I might get in trouble for saying this in West Hollywood, but I think it's become problematic, especially in California right now with the cost of living being insane. I feel like it's being infringed on by illegals coming in by the droves.
Super interesting responses from these people right here. I mean, this is West Hollywood. These are rare people in West Hollywood, I would say. I think if you went to like Hollywood Boulevard, maybe Venice, you might find a more of a mix, but we're talking about West Hollywood. That's a very liberal area, and it's interesting that he's actually willing to say that, speak out against that. Talk about the other issues that we have going on in the country. Why are these people able to advocate for bad policy? That bad policy creates a crisis, and everyone else takes care of it, and that seems fair to them. The level of depth that these people actually look into these bad policies, I think they literally just see, okay, hey, a bunch of people can come to the country to work, and there's no possible consequences, whether they be cultural or any of the stuff that I've already mentioned. They don't think about any of that. They just see people wanting to come here to work, and that's the only thing. They don't think about anything else happening, which I don't know whether it's just insane ignorance. I don't know whether it's just them being short-sighted or them just kind of being more in a cult where it's, hey, just say yes to whatever policy that your neighbors all support. Don't ask questions, get in line, make sure to vote for that, and that's the end of the conversation. I think Aldo did a fantastic job just exposing the insane hypocrisy in this video, starting off with guys like this.
Don't understand why we're not, in general, more embracing and accepting of others that want.
And then showing him saying, no, I want nothing to do with helping out at all. No, nothing about that. Even though the stuff I support has created a housing crisis within the country, has created multiple crises within the country. But no. Somebody else can deal with it. Somebody else's money, their time, somebody else can deal with the problem that I helped create. Very interesting. Very good job, Aldo. Let me know what you guys thought about this video down in the comment section below. As always, I'll put a link to the full video down in the description below. And if you guys enjoyed my commentary, make sure to hit that like button. Make sure to subscribe for more videos and hit that bell notification button so you're notified next time I post. I'll catch you guys in the next video.